Most people think their future is decided in the big moments. The promotion, the opportunity, the breakthrough, the day everything finally changes. But that is not how lives are built. Lives are built in the quiet moments, in the 5 seconds between the alarm and the excuse, in the space between what you said mattered and what you actually do next. Because your future is not watching what you post. It is watching what you repeat. It is watching what you do when the room is dark, when no one is clapping, when your goals feel far away and your comfort feels close enough. That is where the real decision lives, not once, every day. What the world sees is only the surface, the result, the body, the business, the confidence, the composure. What it does not see is the private construction, the repetition nobody congratulates, the mornings nobody films, the pages nobody reads while they are still drafts. The lonely discipline of showing up before your life gives you evidence that it is working. That is where people separate, not in talent, not in luck, in private standards. Your life is built in rooms that no one else enters. And if you can become consistent there, the public results eventually have no choice but to appear. Motivation is powerful, but motivation is also temporary. It arrives with energy, with emotion, with clarity, and then it leaves. That is what visitors do. Discipline is different. Discipline does not ask how you feel. It asks what you said you wanted and whether your actions still agree. Motivation starts the conversation. Discipline builds the life. The people you admire are not always more inspired than you. They are simply less dependent on inspiration. They have trained themselves to move before the feeling arrives. And because of that, they keep building on days that would have stopped everyone else. A lot of people are not lazy. They are waiting to feel confident, waiting to feel clear, waiting for the right week, the right season, the right version of themselves. But readiness is one of the most expensive illusions in the world. Because while you wait to feel prepared, time keeps collecting proof of your hesitation. You do not become ready and then begin. You begin and become ready. That is how confidence is built, not by thinking longer, by moving sooner. Imperfect action has changed more lives than perfect planning ever will. The first step is rarely beautiful. It is powerful because it exists. Every action is a vote, not just for a result. For an identity? When you train, you are not just burning calories. You are casting a vote for becoming someone who keeps promises. When you sit down to work instead of escaping into distraction, you are not just finishing a task. You are teaching your mind who is in charge. This is why repetition matters so much. It is not because one day changes everything, but repeated days change who you believe yourself to be. And once your identity shifts, discipline becomes less of a battle and more of a standard. You stop asking, "Do I feel like it?" and start saying, "This is what I do." People underestimate small wins because they confuse small with meaningless. But small wins are not meaningless. They are evidence. Evidence that you can continue. Evidence that you can return tomorrow. Evidence that your excuses are not in control anymore. The first week may not change your body. The first month may not change your income. The first effort may not change your life, but it changes your relationship with yourself. And that matters more than most people understand. Because once you trust yourself to continue, progress stops being a hope. It becomes a direction. And direction repeated long enough becomes destiny. You do not need a new life overnight. You need a new standard repeated long enough that your old life can no longer survive beside it. That is how change really happens. Quietly, repeatedly, without applause, without permission. So wake up and do the thing. Write the page. Take the walk. Make the call. Lift the weight. Study the hour. Keep the promise. Not because it feels exciting, because it is building someone. And that someone is you. Your future is not waiting for one dramatic act. It is watching what you continue. Become the person who continues.